Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to our very first video. In this video, I'd like to address some questions that I usually get, and those questions refer to what exactly is fertility law? What do fertility lawyers do? I think the best way to address this question would be to start from infertility and how the law has something to do with infertility. Now, medically speaking, doctors define infertility as the inability to have children or to achieve a pregnancy after 12 months of unprotected sex. So, to you and I, that just means that a person or a couple who want children are unable to have children the normal way. Two people go into a room, and after 9 months, they tell us the good news and we come bearing gifts. Now, it's one thing, very important thing to note that it takes a lot. It's a real journey before a person arrives at the stage where they begin to think that, oh, actually, I might not be able to conceive naturally. I'm going to need assisted means to achieve my goals of becoming a parent. And it's a very difficult and lonely journey. Now, if you're the kind of person who doesn't want to have children, it goes without saying, okay, I'm not able to get pregnant, okay, so be it. But if you're the kind of person for whom becoming a parent is important, the inability to have children when you want to is really very difficult and heartbreaking. And so the decision to begin to look for help to become a parent is not a decision that is very easily arrived at. It usually takes a while of soul searching and praying and hoping before the person arrives at the stage where they begin to think, oh well, I might need help becoming a parent. So, how does the law get into all this? The standard way in which people become parents is to become pregnant themselves and carry a pregnancy. But when you begin to think of assisted means, you have different levels. So on the one hand, you can start with adoption, where you begin to think about what does the law have to say about making somebody else's child my child? And where do I get such a child from? What are the processes and procedures that are needed to make someone else's child my child? Not just taking custody of the child, but actually becoming that person's legal parents. Now, when you begin to think about IVF, I must point out from the very beginning is that when you begin to think about IVF and you are the woman intending mother is the one carrying the pregnancy, there isn't very much to say about the role of the law in that kind of assisted reproductive scenario. But when you begin to think about using donor eggs, donor sperm, or using a surrogate to carry the pregnancy, then you begin to realize that there are legal rules and procedures that apply to those kind of situations. Because generally speaking, a donor, an egg donor or a sperm donor within the normal context of a relationship would be the genetic parent and will also become a legal parent. But in a scenario where somebody is using the egg or the sperm of a different person, a person who is not one of the intending parents, what does the law have to say? Who actually becomes the parent of the child? Is it the surrogate who carries the pregnancy? Is it the person who donated the eggs? Is it the person who donated the sperm? Or is it the person or the people who made the treatment possible and who, through their efforts and, of course, their expenditure and their investment emotionally as well, have brought about the birth of this child? Who among these people is the legal parent? What do the intending parents need to do to make sure that they cut off the involvement of the egg donor or the sperm donor, or make sure that the surrogate does not have anything further to do with the child after the child has been born? Now, these areas, these questions are the area of law that is called fertility law. And these are the types of questions and issues that we're going to be dealing with in this channel. And I would like to say that it's also very important to understand that where the intending parents are in one country or intend to return to a particular country with the child or the children, and the surrogate lives in a different country, it's very important for them to note that there's an engagement between the legal systems of two separate countries. And so the best time to get advice is at the very beginning, before you start the journey. Find out if you live in a particular country. Like, there are lots of people in the diaspora, lots of Nigerians in the diaspora who come to Nigeria to do IVF, or to use donor egg and donor sperm, or even surrogacy. You need to find out from the country where you live, your residence country, where you intend to take your child or children to. You need to find out what the legal position regarding those kind of treatments that you're considering will be. You also need to get legal advice and understand how the law in the treatment country, Nigeria, where the surrogate is, or where the child being adopted is, what does the law say? What are the requirements? What are the processes? What are the procedures? Now, generally speaking, this is the province of fertility law, and these are the kind of issues that we're going to be dealing with on this channel. One of the things that really pushed me to start this channel is that it's very rare. People are not very open about discussing these issues, and so the problem becomes that others are not able to learn from the experience of the people who have gone through this. So please treat this channel like your channel. Send me in questions and I'll do my best to address them, and let me know if there are any burning issues that you'd like me to address. And it would be irresponsible of me to end this video without saying that any advice or information that you get on the internet, on YouTube, or on this channel cannot in any way replace the legal advice given by a lawyer or legal practitioner after the person has listened to the specific details of your own circumstances. So please do not use this channel in place of legal advice, but use it as a tool to help you understand the kind of questions you need to be asking yourself and asking your lawyer, and preparing yourself as you travel along the road of your infertility journey, which will end by the grace of God in you becoming a parent. Take care.